Customs intercepts $193,000 concealed in yogurt carton. Says undeclared foreign currencies violates anti-money laundering laws. Marshals arrest 327 illegal miners and 98 mining sites as Minister of Solid Minerals Development inaugurates more marshals to sanitize Nigeria's mining industry. And federal government targets 10 million metric tons of steel annually to reduce Nigeria's dependency on imported steel. Hello, thanks for joining us on the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. We're live in Abuja. I am Dennis Adegunloye. The Federal Capital Territory Command of the Nigeria Customs Service has intercepted $193,000 undeclared foreign currency concealed in a carton of yogurt at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. A statement from the Customs Public Relations Officer, Abdullahi Mewada, says the interception is a result of credible intelligence. He says the suspect, 40-year-old Kamilu Abdullahi Sarina, arrived Nigeria on board an Ethiopian airline flight from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The customs spokesperson explains that the undeclared cash violates the Anti-Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act of 2022 and the Nigeria Customs Service Act 2023, both of which mandate that any traveller in possession of funds exceeding $10,000 or its equivalent in negotiable instruments must declare it to the Nigeria Customs Service upon arrival or departure. Providing further details, he says the smuggled cash was uncovered through the deployment of advanced scanning technology to detect unusual density luggage. He says the cash has been formally handed over to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for further investigation and prosecution. A total sum of 1.678 trillion naira, being the February 2025 Federation accounts revenue, has been shared to the federal, states and local government councils. The revenue shared at the March 2025 Federation Accounts Allocation Committee meeting in Abuja was chaired by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun. The total distributable revenue comprised distributable statutory revenue of 827.6 billion naira, distributable value-added tax revenue of 609.4 billion naira, electronic money transfer levy revenue of 35.17 billion naira, solid minerals revenue 28.2 billion naira, and augmentation of 178 billion naira. The communique notes that from the total distributable revenue of 1.678 trillion, the federal government received 569.656 billion naira, and the state governments received total sum of 562.195 billion naira, while the local government councils received a total sum of 410.559 billion naira and a total sum of 136.042 billion naira. 13% of mineral revenue was also shared to oil producing states. In February 2025, oil and gas royalty and electronic money transfer increased significantly, while value-added tax, petroleum profit tax, companies and income tax, excise duty, import duty and CET levies recorded decreases. Now, 1 year after the inauguration of the mining marshals, 327 illegal miners have been arrested and 98 mining sites handed over to legitimate owners. These achievements excited the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alaki, as he inaugurated another set of mining marshals to sanitize the industry. Mia Ogidi reports.
21st of March 2024. 2,220 mining marshals charged to mine illegal miners in the dreaded Thick Forest. And within 1 year, 327 arrests made, 142 undergoing trial in court, 4 foreigners serving jail term.
In many instances, the illegal miners had occupied the licensed areas for a decade or more, displacing the actual licensed owners of the sites. The mining marshals have recovered over 98 sites back to their owners in the last 1 year. So far, the mining marshals identified 457 suspected illegal mining sites and has improved intelligence gathering on these sites.
We even went as far as going to the palace of the chief. Sometimes we even do sensitization. Is that we will continue to remain on the path of patriotism.
1 year of good job, Dele Alaki acknowledged, and to expand the scope of operations going forward, another set of mining marshals inaugurated. The police and the army will also be incorporated to this intervention force, codenamed Squad, Alaki promised. Mie Ogidi, NTNews.
Meanwhile, the federal government is targeting an annual production of 10 million metric tons of steel by 2030 as part of efforts to reduce Nigeria's reliance on imported steel and to strengthen the local industry. Minister of Steel Development's Prince Shuaibu Abubakar Audu disclosed this during her facility tour of the National Steel Raw Materials Exploration Agency during his 2-day working visit to Kaduna State. Ekene Ndulue reports.
Show that Nigeria produces about 2 million metric tons of steel annually, a figure the Minister of Steel Development says falls far below the targeted 10 million metric tons by 2030. The National Steel Raw Materials Exploration Agency is the body mandated to conduct exploration of steel raw materials, critical in the national plan to boost domestic steel production for industrial growth. The minister's tour of facilities at the agency shows efforts in exploration activities across the country, as he promised that government is addressing funding gaps in the sector.
We're trying to get to 10 million metric tons by 2030. So it's a big task, it's a big goal. For us to succeed in achieving Mr. President's vision of industrializing Nigeria for you and I, all hands must be on deck, from the ministry to the agency.
It is necessary for government to provide special intervention fund worth up to about 54 billion to complete the Obi Lafia coal project. When this coal project is fully developed, it is capable of reducing the importation of coking coal, as it is one of the major raw materials needed in steel production.
It was also a homecoming for the minister, who visited his alma mater, Command Children's School, Kaduna, where he shared moments to motivate the students. In Kaduna, Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
And in line with the renewed hope agenda on security, the federal government has commenced the revitalization of Defence Industries Corporation, DICON. In this report, Defence correspondent Ismail Musar highlights the implications on the ongoing drive to further secure the nation.
A safe and secured environment is critical to the provision of dividends of democracy. This informs the present administration's decision to place premium in combating terrorism in the northeast, banditry in the northwest, and secessionist agitation in the south-south. To enhance the provision of arms and needed platforms, in November 2023, President Bola Tinubu signed the DICON Act to promote indigenous production of military hardware in line with the local content policy. To achieve this, the Defence Industries Corporation, DICON, is collaborating with a local firm for the production of military hardware.
To enhance security in line with the DICON Act 2023 and also the President's renewed hope agenda on security. We will be assembling drones, unarmed aerial vehicles, unmanned aerial vehicles, 4x4 vehicles, 6x6 armored personnel carrier, and mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles.
With emphasis on local content, the firm says the initiative will cut capital flight by providing defense equipment, thereby promoting economic growth.
Everything that we're going to produce here must be tropicalized to suit our own terrain. And it will be what our armed forces and other security agencies require. Nigerian border is porous. Immigration services need high-tech equipment to cover the vast borders we have in the country.
This partnership will develop human capacity by employing the services of retired military personnel, youths, and produce unique platforms to combat specific threats. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
A pivotal step in advancing Nigeria's transition to sustainable energy solutions has been taken with the advent of the hybrid electric vehicle charging station project. Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Uche Naji, stated this at the commissioning of the project by the Energy Commission of Nigeria, ECN. Also launched at the commissioning was a hybrid electric Hilux and other innovations. The electric vehicle charging station is an off-grid innovation designed for sustainable running and is designed with a 10-kilowatt lithium battery. Director General of the ECN, Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi, also highlighted the key aims, objectives and benefits of the project.
And in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administrations for local content policy, lithium will soon be made available as a raw material to support battery production in Nigeria. This project is in line, again, with the Presidential Declaration on Climate Change.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, he is for the poor. He is for the poor. This electric vehicle you are seeing is for the poor. You know, because like I keep saying, this is just starting the technology. You know, anything that is new is high. But even at this high state, it is cheaper than ordinary Hilux, the one you saw there. Not only that, when you take a full charge on this, you are charging a vehicle to go for 600 kilometers per full charge that will cost you about 5,000 naira. You can see it's affordable, you know, and that is what our president stands for.
This is the News Desk at 3 on NTA News 24. More reports after this break. Stay with us.
Celebrate Ramadan with Bafi and enjoy up to 40% off on selected products from living room, dining room, bedroom, and royal sets. Pay less, save more, and refresh your home for iftar gatherings and cherished moments with family and friends. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online to enjoy our exclusive Ramadan sale. Let's make this Ramadan unforgettable.
I am Oluremi Tinubu, the global and national Stop TB champion. Many people have asked why I've chosen to champion the fight against a disease like tuberculosis. My reason stems from a deep personal experience. I once had a friend who unfortunately fell ill and concealed the nature of his sickness until it was too late. Eventually, after he passed, we discovered he had tuberculosis. Sadly, due to the stigma and discrimination surrounding the disease, he would not speak up or seek for help. His death was a painful reminder that we could have intervened and saved a life if only we had known earlier. Tuberculosis is an airborne disease that primarily affects the lungs, but can also impact other parts of the body. Being airborne means anyone, regardless of their social economic status, can contract it. In Nigeria, one person dies of TB-related illness every 7 minutes, amounting to 206 deaths every day. Globally, one person succumbs to TB every 25 seconds, which is a staggering 3,456 lives lost daily. These deaths are entirely preventable because TB is curable if detected and treated early. If you or someone you know has been coughing for 2 weeks or more, coughing up blood, experiencing night sweats, or losing weight drastically, it might be TB. Please visit the nearest government hospital or primary health care center for proper diagnosis and treatment. TB treatment is free in all government and some private health facilities. Let us also remember not to stigmatize or discriminate against TB patients or those who have been treated for TB. Individuals who have been cured of TB cannot infect others. I call on all stakeholders, especially the private sector, to join us in the fight to end TB in Nigeria. Together, we can make a difference. Remember, TB anywhere is TB everywhere. End TB by 2030. Yes, we can.
Welcome back. Vice presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party in 2023, Yusuf Buhari, alongside the party's governorship candidate in Kano, as well as local government contestants and members of the working committee, have defected to the All Progressives Congress. They said their defection was motivated by the successes being recorded by President Bola Tinubu.
After 2 years, we have started to see that these economic policies are yielding some fruits. The foreign exchange is beginning to stabilize, food prices are coming down, insecurity is being addressed by our military, by our brave armed forces. Our phones have continued to ring. A lot of people that are within the fold of the SDP are interested in following us into the APC.
From today onwards, we are now part and parcel of our former family, the All Progressive Congress, APC.
Deputy President of the Senate, Barau Jibrin, while addressing the defectors, said the attempt by some politicians to use the SDP as a platform to compete against the APC in 2027 is an exercise in futility.
Those who are in the party are now moving away from the party to APC. So that party is going to be empty. So the idea is dead on arrival. We call on those who are in other parties that APC is one of us. It is a movement to transform Nigeria.
Kudos to the Deputy Senate President for your efforts to bring these important and vibrant politicians to Abuja to honor. We are here to honor them as joining our party, APC.
APC is a party, when you come, there's no discrimination. As soon as you come in, you become a member of us. We have equal rights. You are free to contest your elections. You are free to interact with others. You are free to enjoy the privileges that is accrued as a member of All Progressives Congress.
Meanwhile, People's Democratic Party governors have resolved to legally contest the legitimacy of the state of emergency declared in Rivers State by President Bola Tinubu. The governors, under the aegis of the PDP Governors Forum, have directed their attorneys general to challenge Section 305 of the Constitution as amended and subject it to judicial interpretation in court. The governors, who reached this resolution after a meeting, deliberated on the wider implications of the emergency rule, which they consider to be politically motivated. The forum, however, reaffirmed its commitment to upholding the Constitution, defending democratic governance, and ensuring that the rule of law prevails in Nigeria. They also reaffirmed their commitment to stand in solidarity with suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State and the people of the state. Similarly, the opposition coalition of United Political Parties, CUPP, says it will also challenge the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State in court. The opposition coalition, in a statement by Chief Peter Ame and Mark Adebayo, believe that some actors and supporters' involvement in the crisis was shielded. CUPP therefore appealed to President Tinubu to call the Attorney General of the Federation to order, reiterating their decision to seek legal action over the implications of the emergency rule in Rivers State for the survival of democratic governance in Nigeria. In other news, the Christian Association of Nigeria has gathered for its annual National Day of Prayers at the National Christian Center, this time with a resounding theme, Dependable God. But beyond the prayers, beyond the hymns and exhortations was a message, one that placed responsibility not just in divine intervention, but in the hands of Nigerians themselves.
We believe that we have a great nation, but it all depends on what each and every one of us do. Not just the leaders, but even those of us that are the lead. So the responsibility of change is with each and every Nigerian. And if we can do what is needed, this God is dependable. He will hear us. He will wipe our tears.
For the Vice President of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Stephen Baba Panya, the expectation is clear that as voices rise in prayer, hearts will rise to action. Only then, he says, can God's healing truly rest upon the nation.
We are trusting that we shall see a manifestation of the answers to our prayer that will translate into the progress and peace and prosperity of this nation.
As the echoes of worship fade and the congregation disperses, the message remains. Faith without works is incomplete. While prayers have been lifted, the call to action lingers. For a nation in search of healing, it is not just in the hands raised in supplication that matter, but also the hands willing to build, mend, and serve. This is the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Here's a recap of our top stories. Customs intercepts $193,000 concealed in yogurt carton, says undeclared foreign currencies violates anti-money laundering laws. Marshals arrest 327 illegal miners and 98 mining sites as Minister of Solid Minerals Development inaugurates more marshals to sanitize Nigeria's mining industry. The federal government targets 10 million metric tons of steel annually to reduce Nigeria's dependency on imported steel. Namibia has sworn in its first female president, Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah. She won elections that extended the ruling party's 35-year grip on power. Aged 72 years, Nandi-Ndaitwah became one of the few females to lead an African nation in a ceremony attended by heads of states from several countries on the continent, including Angola, South Africa, and Tanzania. The opposition Independent Patriots for Change, IPC, mounted a strong challenge but secured only 25.5% of the vote. Namibia is one of the world's leading uranium producers and is also rich in diamonds. Chairman House Committee on Sports, Kabiru Admadu, congratulates the Super Eagles and the Nigeria Football Federation for the 2-0 victory over Rwanda, which has reignited Nigeria's hopes of qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Amadou, however, urges the Super Eagles not to be carried away with the victory, but sustain their focus on the remaining games, particularly Matchday 6 against Zimbabwe in Uyo. He assures that the House Committee on Sports will provide all necessary support for the Super Eagles to soar to the showpiece event in 2026. That concludes the News Desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Degunlui.